We are on the way to Agahozo Shalom. Really excited. They have a good grid because it was built post-genocide. Yeah, it goes on the national grid, and then a little bit will go to the village, but it's they direct it to where it's needed, but it stays still in, I think, all in the eastern province. It's actually less than 6% now. Why? Because they're growing their energy market. It was 6% when we plugged it in. President Kagame has set priorities for the country. It's a green country. They're environmentally conscientious, but it's also green energy is much cheaper. Before you take us around, just a small taste of the sweetness of Israel, just so that they're also solar powered. So just so you have. Wow. Yeah, no, I just.
We just happen to be right here in the center of the village, and this is a place we dedicated in honor of Anne. So it's 2006, 12 years after the genocide. What is the biggest problem facing Rwanda? And the person said the number of orphans. There is no systemic solution. This country will never develop. And so Anne said they should do like Israel. They should build youth villages.
And really for me, it was sparked by the genocide connection. After the Holocaust, Israel had an influx of orphans. I knew that they had built these things called youth villages.
And in 2 short years, not only were we able to buy this land, but to build this land and to bring the first cohort of Agahozo Shalom children.
So many children. You're educated about the Holocaust, and it's all about you. The world did this to the Jews, and the Jews have this burden to bear, and the Jews are the sufferers of genocide. It was only when I started to work on this project that it began to trickle in that genocide is not about Jews. Genocide is about people, and people have done this to people.
We have many children who, on their own identity card, they invented their date of birth because they didn't have anybody to tell them that. I think I remember receiving a text message from Anne. She was in Israel meeting with Yossi, and he told her, hey, I want to know your village. Maybe I could donate a few solar panels for your kids.
I'm a friend of Anne Heyman, and when she invited my family to come to the village several years ago, we had already begun to discuss maybe we can bring solar power to East Africa.
And she said, what is the situation of Rwanda in terms of energy? And I said, this is one of the biggest goals of the country.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, oh, all around the world. I'm gonna let it shine.
I was an orphan, and the village were looking for orphans or vulnerable who were genocides against Tutsi survivors. They were like, we have this village that is going to give you opportunities to learn, to have a family. I liked it, and it was like, I wish I got that chance, and I did. Tikkun is healing the heart. So we got to learn that we are in the process of healing our hearts. But still, when Heyman, she doesn't need us to pay her or to thank her. She wanted us to help the world, to pay it forward. I want to go out and I want to help others. And that's the time that I feel that I'm doing Tikkun Olam. And I also want to have a family. Yeah.
Through Anne, Yossi sent me a questionnaire which I submitted to some people in the government. And they were like, this is interesting. And so that was the beginning of this partnership.
I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine.
Maybe we can bring solar power to Agahozo Shalom. And what would it look like? And what can we learn from it so that other countries in East Africa and all of Africa can do this? President Kagame was in Jerusalem, so Anne and I invited him to a presentation at the King David Hotel about the solar plan. He had been at Agahozo Shalom for the first graduations.
Heyman, I want to greet you and congratulate you. And all others who worked with you and supported you to establish Agahozo Shalom Youth Village.
So there is rays from the solar.
Yes.
So they are coming to the world.
Yes.
from the space.
Yes.
So when they reach the solar panel,
Yes.
there is some photovoltaic transformation.
That's right.
Where electrons flow through the
That's
solar
right.
panels, and there is electricity generated.
We're gonna build a solar field, and then hopefully 100, and then maybe 1,000. Then Africa is gonna look different.
Jendumva nu, jendumva mahubezi, jendumva ibichuru mubiri wose. Kumva amajwi meza nkabona icyizere, ndetse n'urumuri n'inzira y'intsinzi.
Every year at the Science Center, we organize Science Center Tikkun Olam. It's a way for us to give back to the community through what we learned. In our community, some of the families, poor families, don't have electricity at their home, so they use small lamp that use petrol. It's very harmful, not good for our health. So every year, students are coming up with any idea that they want to work on. So they come up with an idea to make small lamp like this one that use solar panel to charge. During the day, the family will be charging with the solar panel, and then during the night they will be using this small lamp. The lamp is really simple, using a cup. You can see that this is a cup. We did already these 5 lamps that will give to 5 vulnerable families in our community. We will go to the local government, we'll show them that the project is done, and then they will take us to those vulnerable families.
Nawe igiti giteme kirashira
The governor. Yes.
I knighted you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, that's fantastic. You're incredible, dude.
Power to the people!
Power to the people! Power to the people, right on.
Please note that the plant is live. This means that we are currently generating electricity.
As we were walking from the gate, I turned around and I looked back at all these people, and the blue panels are on this side or on this side. They remind me of the Israelites crossing the Red Sea. Some of us have come from the Holy Land, from the high mountains of Jerusalem, to stand together here at the highest lookout point at Agahozo Shalom. And what we can see from up here today for Rwanda and Africa and the world is hope. And from Africa to the Paris climate talks, I'm okay, thank you. Where's my big line? Hold on, no, I'm okay. Okay, thank you. Ready? Hold on, take two. And from Africa to the Paris climate talks, together we will bring light and hope to the world. Therefore, from this mountaintop, from this source of enlightenment, we call on the United Nations to affirm that access to green power and affordable green power should be elevated as a fundamental human right for all of humanity and for all people. You feel like you're playing with the birds and with Ian. If you ever sat in one of these chairs. At this moment today, we miss Ann Heyman. We miss her greatly. The injustice of it all is inexplainable. She was an inspiration and a hero personally to me. Ann and I grew up in the same youth movement called Young Judea. And we had a teaching that is the foundation of our lives. And you can see it painted inside the village in the tikkun olam hut. And it's from our kibbutz Keturah. And it's Ani ve'ata neshane et haolam. You and I will change the world. We did it. We did it. And we will continue to do it. Thank you and shalom.
A hero never dies. You cannot stop death, but you can create a new life. You cannot turn a stone into bread, but you can turn tears into happiness. You cannot change your background, but you can design your future.
The African map is this, so the field is shaped like Africa.
Where are we standing now?
West Africa.
Solar energy is the best!
We are the voices of Agahozo Shalom. It doesn't matter how many times we fall. What matters is how many times we stand up again and be counted.
This is the model for development projects. Let's build a solar field that will generate income to build a village.
So she died the day we went to financial close, and I never got to tell her.
Let's step in Anzi's footprints as we can sense her soul shining inside of our hearts. Let's remember her romantic smile to bring back the memories we shared with her. Call us the responsible newborns of Rwanda. We have no fear of fear.
What does Agahozo mean in Kenya, Rwanda?
Agahozo means drying the tears. It means drying the tears. We hope that by the time they leave Agahozo Shalom, we don't see any wound, but we see scars that they learn to live with, to accept and to live with. Today here at Agahozo Shalom, we have refugees from Burundi. We have children with bullet wounds from Burundi here at Agahozo Shalom. Maybe there'll be a need for a village next to the solar field over there.
Hey, I made it.